The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, resigned as chairman of the ruling party. Ganduje, who took over as APC chairman in August 2023, tendered his resignation on Friday. His letter, according to sources, emphasized the need to focus on personal well-being, but the political undercurrents tell a far more complex story. Just hours before stepping down, Ganduje was seen leading a high-profile condolence visit and attending a political consultative meeting in Abuja. Some loyalists of the immediate past national chairman of the APC have decried his resignation, saying that it will not augur well for the party.
Meanwhile, there's speculations that the APC national chairman quit his position over an alleged possible move by Rabiu Kwankwaso, former governor of Kano State, to join the APC. All this come as a group in the north-central region of the party have also demanded the party chairmanship is zoned to the region. What exactly is going on within the ranks of the ruling All Progressive Congress? Join us this morning on Breakfast Central for this discussion is Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, Mr. Felix Morka. Also joining us is the Publicity Secretary of the new Nigerian Peoples Party, Mr. Ladipo Johnson. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. A warm welcome to you both. I'd like to start with Mr. Felix Morka. It's very great of you to join us this morning and to put an end to speculations. Many are saying the immediate past chairman of the APC, Dr. Umar Ganduje, did resign because he's making a way for the return of Rabiu Kwankwaso to the fold of the party. Could you give us the true state of things and clear the air for us and what led to his resignation? Many people weren't expecting this.
Well, I guess that's the whole essence of change. Change does not make announcements quite often. It just happens. The resignation of our now former national chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has been explained by himself in his letter, as you just rightly mentioned. He told us that he needed to leave to attend to urgent and important personal matters. Now, once we received that letter and it was verified, confirmed that he indeed had resigned, what we do as a political party is not to sit back and speculate further as to reasons why he may have resigned. We simply begin to grapple with that transition that is, now announced. And that's exactly what we're doing. And in my statement, I was very clear that we're now in consultation to summon the next meeting of a party that has the authority to replace this, outgone chairman, to convene and meet and deliberate and, hopefully decide on his successor. So look, I am not able to go outside of the reasons provided by the individual concerned to speculate as to other possible reasons. Now, by the way, I have, been treated to all kinds of suggestions. I've seen what's going on, all the speculations, from one topic to the other about why he may have resigned. But look, as a party, all of that is irrelevant to us. Our focus right now is exclusively on, choosing a replacement, which I think we hope it will happen imminently.
All right, thank you for sort of laying that to rest. We'll still come back to talk about what the next steps might be. But let's bring in Mr. Ladipo into the conversation. Just my colleague asked earlier, there's speculations about Rabiu Kwankwaso moving to the All Progressives Congress. Do you have any information about that? Do you know if this is happening? Is it confirmed? Is it a speculation as well?
Thank you. Good morning. Well, these are just what you said they are, speculations. And I have learned of everything over the internet, on pages of newspapers. I believe that with time, we will know. It is the internal affairs of the APC. And as Mr. Morka has said, they're in the process of replacing the national chairman. and then I think things will move forward from there. We, as a party, have not heard anything. I've said it several times. There's been no official communication with us. But Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, as a person, I do not know whether he has been approached or not. He hasn't said anything to us, the National Working Committee, about leaving the party or about being in talks with anyone. But I believe that we're 2 years away from elections, and the Electoral Act, et cetera, has made politicking. We have a longer period now, because by next year, the candidates, next year, maybe June or so, July, the candidates have to emerge. So you can see that now I understand the context in which we have all these permutations, rumors, and what have you. But our position, the truthful position, is that we the NNPP, realize that there are basically three options still open to us. That is whether we remain as NNPP, whether we join some form of, two options, some form of coalition or merger. Now, whether it's the APC or the one going on with El Rufai or any other one, no one knows. But definitely, we have started the process as well to come together to start to consider 2027.
All right, I want Mr. Morka to answer the same question as well. You said you don't have any official memo. Mr. Morka, you know, as it is in Nigeria's political space, there really isn't any fire without a smoke. Have there been any conversations about Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso coming to your party? Have any conversations happened that you're aware of?
I'm surprised you're asking me this question.
I mean, it's a valid question. We've seen the wave of defections and different people moving to your party.
I was saying that my brother, who is from NNPP, has answered that question very eloquently. I mean, if he is, calling it speculative, you can imagine what I would call it. We in the APC, I do not have any information about the status, or even for that matter, of the interest of Abdullahi Kwankwaso about any possible intention to join our party. But we don't, again, we deal with only live questions where, our doors are open to all Nigerians who may choose to join our party. When anyone indicates interest, whether they're the, governors or, assembly members or national assembly members, or for that matter, everyday citizens of this country, our doors are open and we welcome people into our party. So if Dr. Kwankwaso decided to join our party, we will again trigger procedures to, receive him. We don't have any code that excludes anyone from joining our party. But as I sit here speaking, I can speak to that because I have absolutely no information about such interests.
Fair enough, Mr. Morka. Now, the people have started jostling for the position of national chairman just even before the ink on Dr. Ganduje's resignation letter dried. The North Central All Progressive Congress Forum has endorsed a former governor of Nasarawa State, Alhaji Tanko Amakura, for the position of national chairman of the party. What's the party's position on filling the gap on a long-term basis? Would it be zoned to a particular area of the country, and what's the process, and when do we expect a permanent replacement?
Well, yes, I'm very aware of the agitations and clamor by our members and leaders from the North Central zone to produce the national chairman, especially the successor to if there was a vacancy as we now have. I'm very aware of that. And, they're within their right to make such requests or make such demands or agitate to be enabled to fill that vacancy. That is normal, and other regions also may be looking at it. Because the politicians who are party people who have every constitutional freedom to aspire to fill positions, but all of that again, neither here nor there. What counts is that when the neck of our party convenes, they will take a critical look at all of the arguments, whether it's arguments of fairness, of inclusion, of equity, all of the other considerations will be put on the table, discussed, and hopefully an acceptable decision, is made. That will then, as I said, enable us to build, forward stronger from this, transition.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing that. We look forward to seeing what the next steps are. But also just to follow up, how would you say that his tenure as leading the All Progressives Congress was? There were, there are those who would say that it was marked with a lot of controversies. But how would you say that his tenure was, the strength of his leadership and your expectations for whoever is going to fill in the shoes is left behind?
Dr. Ganduje was a remarkable chairman. He led the party to a lot of electoral victories, to expanding the party rapidly, to propagating the ideals of the party. He led the process for the creation of our Democratic Institute, which is playing an important role going forward, building understanding of democracy, of deepening understanding of our own ideological leanings. So he's really laid down quite some impressive accomplishments. I mean, look at the recent influx of leaders and members from across political parties and Nigerian society into our party. He was a tireless national chairman, really worked night and day to increase the fortunes of our party. So we really wish him well in his future endeavors. He was a pleasant fellow to work with.
Thank you, Mr. Morka. Now, back to you, Mr. Ladipo Johnson. The last time we had you on Breakfast Central, there were still internal wranglings within the ranks of the NNPP. I just want you to keep us up to date with developments within your party, if you've been able to resolve it, and the current position of the party to challenge the APC as we inch towards 2027. I do understand that Mr. Morka is online, and I hope you won't be revealing some trade secrets to the APC. Please go ahead.
No, there are no secrets to reveal. I have said time without number that internally we are okay. You always have now and again, especially as you approach elections, people who move from one party to the other, especially in our jurisdiction. You have that happening. They may do that because they might feel they've reached the pinnacle about where they could reach within a particular party, and they want to move out to another party. So yes, we had a few people, especially the senator for Kano South and one or two people from the House of Representatives who moved out of the party to the APC, all from Kano, which is understandable. But internally, we're fine. The national chairman, Dr. Ahmed Ajuji, is the national chairman. The national working committee is in place. We're working towards 2027. Next year, we'll have our congresses and our convention. And who knows, I might no longer be the publicity secretary. But yeah, we're working towards it. So we're fine. We're about to start the process, as I said, really towards 2027. And there we will be taking decisions. And there you will now consider whether you'll be having a merger, coalition, accord, whatever the name is. All you want to do is to make sure that you strengthen your base, build bridges, and try to bring good governance to the people of Nigeria. But let me reiterate that immediately after the 2023 elections, we made it clear that we were open to talking to any Nigerian, any movement, any group, any party that seeks to better the lot of Nigerians. We're open to talking to them to see whether we could have a similar platform. When I say platform, I'm talking about manifesto and things we want to do for the masses of the country. Because as you know, we are, as a team, we are slightly left of center. Healthcare, education, these things are very important to us. And of course, things like security and the economy as well. Right. We're in that process, and we will. And yes, you've heard rumors everywhere. I'm going back to the main thing about whether Kwankwaso is crossing to the APC, or whether they want to offer him a vice presidential slot, or what have you. The Yorubas have a proverb, permit me. They say, "Eni baba kingaru." That means that anyone who's going to receive the bride doesn't have to stretch to look. Just wait at the right time. We all know what is happening going towards 2027, and it will be soon, I'm sure.
Okay. I know I'd asked you this question before when we had a conversation with you, but I want to ask you again. And I'm asking because while you say that we haven't had any official communique from the NNPP regarding the possibility or the potential of Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso to move to the APC, we know that in Nigeria there's no fire without a smoke. We've seen it happen many times. We saw it in Delta State when Charles Aniagu, months or weeks before, had said that there was no way they were moving to the APC. Lo and behold, they've all moved to the APC now. Him, the current governor, the former governor of Delta State. So we've seen this play out in several scenarios in Nigeria. Should we confirm in the next couple of days or weeks that Alhaji Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso has officially moved to the APC, what impact do you think this will have on the NNPP?
It would depend. It would depend on how he moves. If, for instance, he is approached, I believe that he will then call, there's a caucus, he will call a meeting of the caucus, or come all the way to the National Working Committee meeting, ask the national chairman for permission to meet with us, and talk about what has been offered or what is going on. When he does that, then the National Working Committee, the national chairman in turn, will summon a meeting of the NEC to say that one of our top members, or the top member, says he wants to move, etc., etc. So he has to do his work to move the people along. And then it depends. Even if they say he should come, are they asking him to collapse the NNPP? Or are they saying, look, let's work together? There's nothing stopping you from having, look at the Minister for the Federal Capital Territory. He's still within the PDP, yet he's holding a ministerial slot. Now, so that could be a scenario if it actually happens. It could be, okay, yes, the NNPP is still there, but this individual is working in a sort of loose coalition or loose accord with the APC. So that is, even with the other coalition that is out there or others that could come, we would now determine the working relationship. It might not necessarily be collapsing the entire NNPP into one party or the other.
Thank you for honestly answering that question, Mr. Johnson. Now, if you look at the current political climate and the state of opposition in Nigeria, it seems one party or the other is in they have internal wranglings and crisis. as some have described it. Even the SDP, that people thought was calm and had his house in order, we've seen what has played out in the recent past. And there's also a school of thought that believes that the ruling party, the All Progressive Congress, has a hand to play in destabilizing some of these opposition parties so that it would have a clean sweep at the polls and they won't be able, like they say, the house divided cannot stand on its own. Do you give any credence to that school of thoughts, or do you think, this crisis in opposition parties, that they are a doing of the parties and that the APC is not a convenient boogeyman in this situation?
I consider this a trick question, actually, because I had said in the past, you will recall, that yes, people are saying this, but where it concerns us, we, for instance, we had people who have been expelled from the party, and I had said that yes, we felt that some people within the APC were instigating these former members of the NNPP, So if you look at it, I like to say things as they are. If you look at it, look at what has happened within the PDP vis-a-vis the Minister for the Federal Capital Territory, you will see that there's some sort of truth in it. But then again, it's not the duty of the APC to make sure that the opposition are sitting well. It is our duty as opposition parties to make sure that we do our best to keep our house in order, or our houses in order, sorry, notwithstanding the fact that the APC is trying to spread its tentacles even further and get more people into their fold. So that is the balancing act that has to happen. You don't, when you are attacked, I'm not calling them robbers, I'm just using like a metaphor. When your house is attacked by a robber today, and you still leave it porous security-wise, then they'll attack tomorrow. They won't stop. But when you get some Rottweilers and put in your yard or whatever, it might stop them. So that is the job of the opposition party. We have to do that. And we have fought some battles, and I think legally we're fine. We're on good ground now, good solid ground, and we hope to move forward. Whichever way, whatever will happen, we don't know yet.
All right. Welcome back, Mr. Morka. Let's talk about the expectations for Dalori. Do you perceive that he will have to be a unifier while he's, in this role temporarily, with Northwest wanting, vice presidency, North Central? Of course, it seems like there are different zones that are clamoring for different positions, wanting chairmanship. Do you perceive that he'll be able to serve as a unifier for the time being?
Now, I was saying that Dalori is an experienced politician. He's been state chairman, he's held all kinds of positions. So he comes to this job as acting national chairman with a clear head and understanding of what is required of him. Don't forget, he's been in the position of the deputy national chairman now for quite some time now, since 2023. So he's also garnered some experience of how the business of the party works. So we expect that he will lead the party in transition until our next meeting concludes, where we expect a new national chairman to be selected. So yes, we're very comfortable with Dalori as acting national chairman, and I'm sure he's going to steer the party in the direction to prepare the ground for the substantive national chairman to emerge.
All right. I think a final question. We had spoken to Mr. Ladipo Johnson about this, but I want you to also speak to that. For those who say that the APC is subconsciously or subtly destabilizing opposition to ensure that they solidify their force for 2027, what will your response to people who argue about that be?
members of the opposition who say that obviously are like, bad workmen that blame the tools. We're too busy running our party to have time to destabilize anyone. We're not destabilizing any opposition political parties. They're simply making excuses for their inability to, gain control of their internal affairs, strengthen their own systems of leadership. I mean, take the PDP, for instance. I mean, look at what's going on. Even I believe it was yesterday or so with, parallel meetings and all of that. This is simply not APC.
But Mr. Morka, if I may come in here, over the Salah holidays,
who are responsible for this?
Over the Salah holidays, we saw leading politicians and opposition parties hobnobbing with Mr. President, paying him a visit in his private residence in Ikoyi, Lagos. Don't you think that's part of the destabilization process? Because they wouldn't visit if they weren't invited in the first place.
Now, you have concluded that the person that they were invited, rather than even request a meeting. We don't know. You can't say that. So I think.
I mean, we're talking about the president and commander in chief.
They were lured to come to the meeting.
All right, gentlemen.
Look,
yes.
Now, there's no individual who.
Yes, please go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
I'm getting too many interruptions, so.
Yeah, sorry, there's some sort of a delay.
There's no individual who. There's no individual who visited with the president who is not a serious Nigerian. And to get a clearance to have such meetings requires, some presentation. All of these citizens are respectable people who have very strong opinions, who are, accomplished men and women. So, I don't think we should casualize this by suggesting that they were just sitting somewhere and somebody bundled them to a meeting with the president. These are people who decided to meet with the president. They wouldn't meet with the president if they also did not accept those invitations or did not request to meet with the president. So I think we should be, a bit guided, when we make these declarations, as if, the president is going to people's homes to capture them to come into a meeting. That's not the case, because that's also not fair on these citizens who are meeting with the president. They are respectable Nigerians, and we should, I think, give that to them. Having said that, I will add that the party, either the president or the party, is in the business of cajoling anyone to join our party. People cannot be cajoled. Even people who are not as eminent as that can't be cajoled. People vote in districts. You saw in Lagos, even in the president's district, that people went out to vote and voted, against a party or other parties. Nigerians are very discerning people. They do what they think is best for them. And I think that we should grant that facility, not just to the leaders, but to everyone, quite frankly, who exercises their freedom to choose one way or the other, whether to choose APC or not, or to choose, other parties for that matter. We don't begrudge them. And you see, let me say this. We have a transition in our party now, where our national chairman resigned. We have not, as a party, accused or pointed fingers at any opposition party for instigating this transition. We don't do that. We mind our business. They should mind theirs as well.
Okay.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central. We certainly wish all the best to both parties, the APC, the NNPP, and more importantly, God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.